Fearless Fundraisers. I'm Dawn Lego. It's time to buckle up for a new episode of Raise Nation Radio, the one and only podcast made to inspire fundraisers like you to continue making impact in our communities, building better tomorrows, and exchanging ideas. So whether you're a trailblazer or seasoned pro, you'll pick up the trends that transform your fundraising. And together, we'll dive into lively conversations. And we'll chat with industry-leading fundraisers and thought leaders to explore hot-button issues and innovative ideas. So stay with us for the next 30 minutes while we inspire you to embrace the future of fundraising. All right, let's get going. Welcome back to Raise Nation Radio. We're so glad that you're here. If you're new to Raise Nation, we stream on 10 podcast channels, so I'm sure we're hitting all your favorites. And we're also on demand at OneCause.com. So please check us out. We're approaching our 100th episode very soon. And we're so glad you're here. If you've been with us before, hopefully you love the show. Thank you for being a friend, for being a fan, and for making the show so popular. So today is very special for me, actually. It's always a great day when I'm joined by one of my colleagues here at OneCause. OneCause Nation is about 300 strong. And so I need to get them more, on the show. But my good friend and colleague, Nate Cox, is part of the customer success team here at OneCause. He's no stranger to the show. He's been with us before. I'm so delighted to welcome him back because he is continuing the story, the journey about our culture that's really important to us here at OneCause. And I think I'm coining this designing pride or wearing pride. But with that, I'll leave that cliffhanger for just a second because I do want to welcome Nate to the show and introduce himself to all of you. So, hi, Nate. Welcome back. It's so good to have you back on Raise Nation Radio.
Hi, Dawn. It's fantastic to be back. I feel honored to speak about OneCause and my journey at OneCause, which started just a couple of years ago. And like you said, I'm on the customer success team. So just happy to be here.
Oh, well, we're going to talk about just some really special cultural initiatives, I guess, that we've taken at OneCause that I know is near and dear to your heart. And it's also relevant because it's June and it's Pride Month. So what else would we be talking about? And I know that you're very passionate about this topic. But before we get there, I really want to reintroduce you to our audience. Let them get to know you a little bit more. So do you mind just giving us the elevator pitch on Nate Cox and what you do at OneCause, and let us know anything you'd like to share about you personally?
Sure, of course. I am a customer success manager. I originally started in sales at OneCause, have been honored to be a part of the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Committee at OneCause as well, and just trying to be authentically myself every day. And I think OneCause allows me to do that. Just moved to Chicago, Illinois. So not in Indianapolis, Indiana anymore, but definitely looking forward to Pride Month here in Chicago. Another bit about myself, I've worked in lots of different types of nonprofits before OneCause, including some LGBTQ plus organizations. I've volunteered at the Damien Center here in Indianapolis, and then also worked with a lot of opera companies because that is what I did in college. So a little bit side bit about myself is that I do sing opera. So I know that's...
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of people don't. But it's
yeah. When do we get a preview?
I know, right? So I kind of have the performance background as well. So a lot of things going on in the world of Nate, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, you have to let us know when we could see you perform, if anything is online, so we could be entertained by your beautiful voice. And good to know. Learning a lot with us today. So thanks for sharing.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
You were on the show last year. We talked a little bit about pride and why it's important, what it means, how it's changing, how things are evolving. But we're going to take that conversation and go a little bit deeper. So just for context for our audience, chime in, keep me honest. One Cause is celebrating Pride Month with the rest of the world, as we should. And we're getting behind some efforts with the Indy Pride Parade, as well as many other parades we can support throughout the country. And many people we can support, in our beyond. Yeah. I'm good so far, right? Is that a good background for our audience, Nate?
I think so. I think you hit the nail on the head there.
Okay. Well, to support that effort, we are, is it fair to say, obsessed with our One Cause t-shirts? Last year, we had a beautiful t-shirt that was One Cause branded, but really was proud messaging or pride messaging, I should say. And oh my gosh, we had to order more, right? Everybody wanted one. We all proudly wore our pride t-shirts. They were just beautiful, simple, but beautiful. So did you get your t-shirt last year?
I did. And, I actually got a couple. So I might have been the cause for the the extension on the t-shirts because I couldn't get enough.
No. I don't think so. I think the demand was way beyond just a couple extras in your backpack. It was, everybody wanted one or two. It was, we really had to go and place another order. So, okay, fast forward this year, we decided to have a contest, right? So it was led by our DEIB committee, and where, if anybody's saying, hey, what's the D for? It's diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. So thank you, Angie and the People and Culture team for just making our committee complete, because I think the belonging is perfect to DEI. So we had a contest. I'm going to let you take it from there. You participated in that contest and you won that contest. So do you want to tell Raise Nation Radio all about it?
I'd love to. So we opened it up for our company to have the contest, and I was so excited that I think out of the many submissions that we had, 6 were mine. So I wanted to put out as many ideas as I could. I even collaborated with my sister who does graphic design, and we worked on a few different ideas, and ultimately mine was chosen, which I just feel humbled that even just a spark was chosen and ignited to, spread the message. I mean, within the community and even outside of the community. And One Cause has always kind of given the opportunity for us to shine with our ideas and put ideas forward. So I was really thrilled that we had even just that opportunity. But very excited to see what they look like at that Pride Parade.
Yeah, so that's when we'll be debuting the 2023 t-shirt. And we had so many submissions. It was really just the contest was so embraced by all of One Cause. We had really beautiful design. We got to pick a few, right? What were the contest rules? I don't remember now. My memory is not. A lot happened between then and now, but we got to vote on our favorites, or we only had one vote. I remember voting on more than one. Was I not following the rules?
I think you were right. You were right there. I think people could vote on their favorites out of a large set. So you could vote for however many you like, which I think is great. And then we narrowed it down to a few, and I think one was chosen from there.
Yeah. And they were all fantastic. I mean, there was one nicer than the other. That's why I remember that I couldn't just cast one vote. I voted for yours. I will come clean with that. So why don't we talk about that? So congratulations. There were so many submissions and so many votes, and yours did rise to and bubble to the top. And it is our 2023 design for our Pride shirt. And I think this time we're going to go in and order enough for everybody so that we don't have a supply demand issue again. But there was some inspiration. This is pretty special. This wasn't just you going to a graphic app and, just putting some, figures and colors. You have a story behind this. Could we ask that you share the story and the inspiration?
Of course. I wanted to put forward a design that was simple in its presentation, but deeper in its meaning, not just from my experience or lived experience in the rainbow community, but for another one of our colleagues at OneCause who is currently transitioning. And I felt that the design needed to reflect not only the acceptance and openness that OneCause has, but really to advocate for even just one person. It makes it worth designing a t-shirt and producing that t-shirt for all of the company. One person can make a difference. And so I wanted the rainbow that we have on the design to wrap around the t-shirt and rest on the location on the body where a trans man would have his surgery scars. And so it just, I think, means a lot for the trans community, to have that representation, especially now with, lots of things going on throughout the country. And so the trans flag is right there, the beautiful pink and blue, right over where a trans man would have his top surgery scars. And so I wanted it to really reflect that we are thinking of the trans community, and that we're, not only representing them, but all of the rainbow community as well. So there was some thought and intention and dedication in the design. Wanted to show out for the community and have a deeper meaning.
Wow. I didn't know the story until just now. I knew there was a story, but I didn't know what it was. And I'm really touched. And maybe I'm a little lost for words. And going into close to 100th episode at Raise Nation, that doesn't happen often, that I'm lost to words. It's just beautiful. What made you think of this? What, as you sat down, what? I don't know, when I'm in an app and I'm thinking squares and triangles and colors, and do I put this here or that there? What, how did this all come to you?
That's a great question. I think that sometimes when we think of pride as an event, or as this, multi-state party. It's about the holistic view. And sometimes it's just about the people. And so I wanted to bring the humanity back into the design, where it doesn't have to be flashy and glittery, even though sometimes that's very fun. And I think that we do that often. But I thought of our trans colleague who was going through his transition and his surgery. And I thought that it was worth the dedication because he's worth it. And so I thought, how do I represent that in the t-shirt and the design? And I wanted it to be a testament to the fact that we aren't just there showing up for a parade. We're not, representing the sort of what we call pride washing, which is, using that opportunity to just come out and then we kind of forget about it after June. I wanted it to really show up for our employees, the people that, make up OneCause for what it is. And even if it's just one person, it's worth making a t-shirt over, right? And so I think that that's where my thought process was. And without putting that person's name big on a t-shirt, I wanted it to at least represent the journey that he's currently going through, and a lot of trans people in this country.
What a beautiful way for us to rally around him and show our support. because, and it's so beautiful. I think that, totally worth it. T-shirt is absolutely worth 100 people or one person, right? And it's almost maybe even more special because it's one person that we're honoring and rallying behind and getting support for. And I think that it's good for a number of reasons, not just because it's beautiful, but also because we're learning and we're growing and we're evolving in society. And DEI can't just be some initials or words. It has to be action. But honestly, if I'm being candid, sometimes we just don't know what to do or how to. We're not there yet, right? Or we're a little awkward, or we're a little fearful, or we don't want to say the wrong thing, so maybe we say nothing, which is also the wrong thing. And we're all just learning. And that's okay, right? It's totally okay. It's totally okay to misstep. All of this is okay. But I think what you did, Nate, and I want to thank you and express my gratitude, because I think what you did is you gave us an opportunity to do something in a beautiful way where maybe we just know what to do, right? And we got to show support. So I want to thank you for that, because sometimes the words are not there for us. Sometimes we just don't know what we don't know, or we're just not there yet. So how does that, me saying that, come full circle for you, or what does that mean for you now that we're taking the story a little bit further?
Yeah, I think that you're so right. And, a lot of companies say a lot of things, and sometimes those words can be empty. OneCause is not one of those companies. And I feel just humbled to be a part of a group that allows me not only just to be myself. I think that is, the first level, the foundation for the acceptance that has to happen, not just in June, but year round. They don't just let me accept myself. They let me help other people in action, right? I can actually put forth my time and my treasure and really affect change. And so the actions are so important when it comes to this month, especially, but outside of this month in celebration. And so I'm just honored to kind of be a part of it. I don't see myself as intentionally doing affecting change. I just wanted to make something that meant something to not just me, but to so many people that I know and love. And I was given the space to do that. And so if we continue to have candid conversations, ask lots of questions, I personally don't know everything about, the LGBTQ plus community. I don't. There are lots of things that I'm still learning. And so I think that me just being a small part of that and helping just pass the word on and communicate those things to maybe those who just aren't as exposed to the rhetoric or the community, I'm just happy to do it. I really am.
Wow, so powerful. And I love what you said about just not being empty, right? A lot of people have those DEI clauses on their website and in their employee handbook, but how is that actually fitting into the culture and the day-to-day lifestyle? And we all deserve to be authentically ourselves, right? How we were made, groom into the person that we want to be. We practice being the person that we want to be. And we should never apologize for being, the person that we want to be. So this is all just really shedding a good light on not. And so I have to ask, have you had conversations with, and we will definitely not, we want everybody safe space, private, but have you shared conversations with the I should say, honoree of the t-shirt. And do you know his reaction?
Yes, I have. I wanted to make sure that I got permission to share this journey because it is such a personal journey, and it is not about, I think a lot of people make it about a surgery, and I think that is his business. But I wanted to very much get permission, and we have had a few conversations, and I think that he feels overwhelmed and emotional were the responses that I got because there was no expectation. It is a very private piece of the journey. And I think that this is just, we wanted to do it in good taste. And so we did have a very, very great conversation. And there were some tears, I think, on both parties. And I think that, he is just proud to be a part of a company that recognizes him in this journey. And even sometimes just shedding a light on, if you get obviously permission, shedding a light on the struggle, but also the positivity that overflows from something like being who you've always been inside and out, and making those pieces match. It's just such a beautiful thing. And I wanted that to be represented in the t-shirt, but it's the message behind the t-shirt. It's just a t-shirt, and there are lots of Pride t-shirts.
It's special.
Ours is very special because of that, the person that's behind it and the person underneath it, right? Because it's not just about the outer shell, even though the design is important. It's just the person that's wearing it and representing it and living it.
I wonder how I've been feeling when I put that on, just knowing, and now that we have this podcast and we can share the story for all of OneCause Nation that is listening, going to be wearing it. Sure, with just a little bit more pride, definitely no pun intended, with, just a little bit more pride. Well, moving to a not so tear-jerking moment. How are you celebrating this month? And tell me all about the parade festivities.
Yeah. So I personally love to do the Pride Parade for OneCause. So I am going to be there in Indianapolis representing.
From Chicago.
I am. I'm coming back from Chicago to be there and help organize Pride. So not only do we host a scholarship for the Pride parade, we as OneCause, we participate in the parade and we get to represent our company, our people, whether they're in the LGBTQ plus community or not. Well, I think everyone is. Yeah, I think everyone is. But we will be in our shirts. We will walk through the parade. We'll hand lots of things out. And then we also will have a wonderful booth during the festival portion of the day. And we will hopefully talk to lots of people about not just what we do and the nonprofits that we serve, but also just how we're showing up for Pride as well.
Yeah. Now, are you also going to the Chicago Pride Parade?
I'm going to try. I'm going to try and do. No, they're not. Thank goodness. So there are lots of Pride opportunities throughout the month of June. So there's always a city that's got something going on. So even if I did miss Chicago, I could go to other cities and celebrate as well. So I think it's important to show up for the community in whichever way you feel is appropriate and what you can do at that time. So there is definitely a push for me to participate as much as I can.
Do you have some dates for us, just in case anybody wants to join us? What are the Indy Pride dates?
Sure. Indy Pride is, it's June 10th, and the parade starts at 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. And from there, it'll last a couple of hours, the parade itself. And then the festivities for the festival are later in the afternoon.
Oh, great. Well, so the $1,000,000 question, what do you think we could broadcast live from Raise? Would you like to maybe organize that with some of our people, either before, during, and after? I'll work around your schedule and we could do live from that Indie Pride Parade. What do you think? And bring it to Raise Nation Radio.
I think it's a great idea. We'd love to go live. And it's my dream to be on the scene, Dawn. So I would be honored to be with you there and live stream.
All right. For Saturday the 10th, I guess from you, I'm just going to need the time. And I mean, hey, we can get a video conference going on mobile devices and we can just be loud and proud and crazy. And I'd love to hear everything that's going on. So I'll just have to, after this podcast, we'll have to connect and set some time. Well, I can't believe we've talked for a half hour already. I wish I could talk to you for another half hour, but I want to get you again on the 10th, and we're gonna broadcast live from the Indie Pride Parade. But I want to wrap up with this question: what does June mean to you? I know it's not a month, it's not a day. It is a lifestyle. It is a mindset change. It is being inclusive and doing the right thing 365 days a year. But it's okay to have a month where we're, just doing maybe a little bit more, or reminding ourselves, or being reflective. But what is it all for you? And what do you hope that in the future of a more inclusive society?
Yeah, from someone who grew up very much always looking for their circle, their people. I personally grew up in a small town and needed a group of people to tell me that it's going to be okay for me to be who I am. I think that the month of June is just a reflection, a celebration of those people that I have found, my chosen family over the years. And it's a time to have a sigh of relief because, this is our month. We get this. This is something that I can celebrate, and a time for me to be, who I am, along with all the other people that can celebrate and be who they are. So I think that it's a safe space for us, and for, allies, right? To be supportive. It's such a safe space, the month of June. But also a time to really recognize the progress that we've made and will continue to make. There will be setbacks, and there always have been. It's, one step forward, or two steps forward and one step back. So there will be progress made, but I think that it's a great reflection of the amazing people that are in this community and are doing incredible things, right, for our country and for our world. So it means a lot to me. It takes me out of sometimes of the craziness and the hardships that we've got going on, just to be happy in my own skin.
Well, you've warmed our hearts today. Nate Cox, we love you exactly the way you are. And we appreciate very much that you trust us with your true and authentic self. And it's all anybody can ask of anybody, and all that we can give to somebody else. So we love you. So thank you so much for sharing your story today. Fearless Fundraisers. Wow. I wish we could talk a little bit longer, but that is all the time we have for today. We are going to bring Nate back, and OneCause Nation from Indie Pride. Thank you for listening. Catch part 2 or part 1. I think this is part 2 and part 3. We do hope you enjoyed our topic today and your daily dose of inspiration. Now, please tune in for a new episode released every Thursday at 12:30 p.m. That's Thursday, it's 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, all the new releases. And in the meantime, listen to the episodes on Raise Nation Radio. We're over 90 at this point. Follow any channel, your favorite channel, so that you can get the notifications about our new guests. And if you're a fundraiser, we invite you to the show. We'd love to put a feature and a spotlight on great missions. Fundraisers are doing amazing things to build better tomorrows for our communities. Your stories are all inspiring. We want to feature them on Raise Nation Radio. I would like to thank our sponsor, OneCause, for making this episode possible. OneCause is driving the future of fundraising with easy-to-use software solutions that help nonprofits connect with their donors. Check it out at OneCause.com and visit the resource tab on the homepage for a broad catalog of content that hopefully you'll find very helpful. A huge shout out and thanks once again to my guest, my colleague, my friend, Nate Cox, for sharing a very expert and authentic voice and a very special story. Nate, thank you so much for being with us today. I'm going to hold you to the 10. I so enjoyed our conversation. It inspired me and you trusted me. And I'm just so honored to have this opportunity to broadcast your story. But I do have to ask, any last words of inspiration?
Thank you, Dawn. I just want to say thank you personally, but also, happy Pride to you, and keep celebrating yourself, the people around you. And remember, just give a big old rainbow hug to whoever you can this month. Thank you again.
Well, feel my rainbow hug and happy Pride to Raise Nation. Thank you again so much. That's a wrap. Until next time, I'm Dawn Lego. This is Raise Nation Radio. You stay fearless out there.